is, we pushed, our timelines were pushed back.
Yep.
Don't forget, I also have to hire a principal now too.
Right.
So we've got a lot of things that are on the plate. I think it's just a decision of the board. Does the board want me to move forward? And do we want to have a presentation? I mean, it's up to the board. And if you want that, then I would basically say the communications committee would have to work on this with me. We'd have to put it together and do a presentation. And we could schedule at the SEEP Center. And it'd have to be early April. And early April is probably the only date that would work.
Sure.
I don't see how we can, at this point, we have taken the suggestions of the mayor and the community, because he's out there talking with the community so much, because he's running his own campaign right now. And if he's making the recommendation that this is something that we need to do, then I think that we need to do it.
We can vote on it as a board.
Absolutely.
I'm for it to set up some time and create a presentation with the slides, and hopefully you guys can hear me back there. And then present, set up a time, and schedule an event, and hope for the best.
The communications committee has the flexibility to schedule a meeting with the superintendent, come up with the slides, and come up with a presentation, who can speak, and let the communications committee with the superintendent come up with a plan. I mean, no one from the board will interfere in setting up dates or anything like that. So it's in your guys' power to do that. So
Does the board have to approve the slide?
I mean, the superintendent's going to put it together, and so we've never approved a presentation before. So I'm assuming the superintendent will run it by our attorney and make sure everything is correct, and then the communications committee can take the ball and run with it. So, any other questions for the communications committee? Great, thank you. The IASB delegate, Mr. Belfiore.
Yes, we had the spring dinner, which went very well. It was over in Melrose Park, where they had just recently changed over to grade centers, and talking with the superintendent there, and talking with the assistant superintendent of academics. She was very positive on the move and how it went and how well it went with the kids and how they really took an active role in it. And they also, when at the dinner, they had the kids come out. Each building they have them, they had the kids come out, and they were your tour guides of the building. So it would have been nice if a lot of other people would have showed up. I mean, showed up for the meeting there. You could see their classrooms are no different than what we have. They may have a couple of newer desks in the science lab, but not much more different than what we have in our classrooms. So, and I asked her how long how long they were going through it. She said they started talking about a year and a half ago, and then it wasn't down until the last, actually 4 months, where actually everything fell into place and things started moving along. And they offered for us at any time, if we wanted to go over there and see the programs, see what they have, and see how they're running their classes, they're more than willing to accommodate us and take us on tours. They had the band there. They had the art classes in industrial arts in their different clubs. I think the chess club, the drama club and stuff. And she was saying, and the kids were even saying that they were able to do more like in their drama club because there were more kids involved in it to where they could actually put on a good program. And here it's a little bit less, but you know what I mean? So they were very positive on all the outcomes that happen when you go into a grade center. And she says the best thing to do and the most important thing to do is show what it's going to do for the kids and also keep positive. If you bring the negativity into it, that's what you're going to get is negativity. So it's better to be positive about it. Because there's a lot of kids talking about it. I had a talk with my granddaughter, when we took her in and everything, and she was talking about that they won't have their class picture on there. I says, well, maybe that's something we could work on. The last class pictures for Lee at the time. So I said, maybe that's something we could work on. But yes, communicating with the kids is part of the deal too, And part of the little things, like if that's what they need to do, is have a class picture of them being the 7th grade class that left. That'll make it easier for them. Let's make it positive. Because the more negativity you put into it, the more negative it's going to be. It's all based on how positive it's brought across to these kids. And that's what needs to be done. You have to be positive.
Right.
You can come up with every problem that there is, and there will be a problem. I don't think I got anything else to say.
So at the luncheon or at the dinner in the training, it was talking about differentiating students based on building the gifted program in a sense. So that was very good. And also they had the training. We did have a couple of candidates that came to the training out there. So that was also another positive thing out there. ISAB Lausanne, nothing to report. Old business. We had the board policy update. It is our final reading on there. Any questions about the board policy updates?
On that Family Medical Leave Act, I know that we have a teacher asking for.
Is that about board policy or?
Yeah, it wasn't there in there about the FMLA.
That's childcare needs.
Oh, that's what, right, for the leave and other, that doesn't affect, that doesn't fall underneath that or any of that.
Absence. It's contractual.
Yeah, okay. I just wanted to make sure. They had nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
You?
One's policy, one's contractual.
Any other questions about the old business? New business? Board comments. I just had one question on the on looking at the new junior high section out there. You know, what are the plans on differentiating the students' learning, for example, between math and LA? You know, in our strategic plan and objective number 1A, it talks about differentiating learning. So, are we going to be able to, for example, if you have let's say you have 2 students, one is really good in math and one is really good in LA, are we going to be able to differentiate those students and perhaps push them up into the more advanced classes? Like I know at some of the elementary classes, we're actually moving some of the 3rd grader actually into an advanced class. Is that something that we're going to be able to expand on in the junior high now that we are going to have a little bit more classes? So instead of having just 2 classes or 3, we're going to have 5. Is there going to be an opportunity to differentiate the students and to offer some of those advanced classes going forward?
Yes.
Great. Thank
Do I
you.
expand on it?
Yes, please.
So it's really flexible scheduling. So we're already introducing a flexible scheduling. We have a couple pockets of greatness where some people are, as a team, working faster than others. So we have, for example, a 2nd grade team where we have kids that are mingling between the classes. So if you have kids that are more advanced in reading and it's verified in their MAP score, they're being advanced. They're being put into a class that is of higher reading or of higher expectations, right? Which we would do, which is speaking to what you're speaking about. The same thing would be modeled grade over grade, school over school. So, for example, if we have kids that are very advanced in Spanish, and Spanish is the easy one because we were actually here, if kids are very advanced in Spanish, we would do one of 2 things. We'd either bump them up in one of the classes, or quite possibly we could work with the high school and the kids can just walk down the street and they can take the class at the high school. Or we have Chromebooks, the kids can actually take the class online. So the idea is we are going to meet kids where they're at as opposed to bringing them down. So if we have kids that are more advanced, they're going to be able to excel more. And the goal is, as we go from class to class to class, we're going to be able to do that over and over and over. But it's a slow process. Everybody works at a different pace. And the differentiation has not gone on to the fullest extent that we wanted to do. But we'll be able to differentiate more, and we'll be able to do exactly what you speak about. So it's just the flexible scheduling. But it's not like the high school because we can't afford a model like that. And the high school kids can take many different classes. It's very complicated, very complex. Ours will be much simpler. It'll be pretty straightforward, and it's going to be based on, part of it's the data, part of it's going to be the expectations, and then of course we're going to work with the parents to model it so that we can meet that expectation and quite possibly excel above and beyond. That's the goal.
Excellent, thank you. Any other board comments?
You talked about at the last meeting with Mr. McAuliffe and Quigley, or it was supposed to be Quigley, but with the mayor.
Yeah, it was great. We did a walk for both buildings. We went to Giles and went to Lee. I'm going to be respectful of Michael McAuliffe's time, so we had him walk through Giles. We had him walk through Lee. We're currently he actually had extended his hand and asked us to provide to him a wish list of things that we thought were most pressing. We've been working on our architect, and we've been taking a look at some of the things that we find very pressing. For example, we talked about the safety and security of our buildings being an issue that we need to consider. We talked about ADA, as well as an elevator in this building specifically, because this building does not have an elevator, unlike Giles, which has an elevator. And we also talked about leveling out the floors, because if you walk Lee, it comes down to below grade, it goes back to upgrade, and then it goes back to below grade. So we talked about actually trenching out and having one grade where a kid in a wheelchair could easily move throughout the building, and they would not have to go outside. In current conditions, they'd have to go outside, even though we have the handicapped ramps. But basically what we're doing right now is we're putting together that list to provide to him, and we're hopeful. We got our fingers crossed. You never know. And so it was a great walk, very positive. We got some pictures, and it was exciting. We appreciate his time. Because we know he's a very busy man.
So it's hopeful that they maybe can get some grant money or something for the building.
It's hopeful. I'm always hopeful.
Okay.
You never know.
I also would like to thank the Norwich Police Department for conducting 2 safety drills at both schools. We had an active shooter drill that they went through the schools and gave some valuable feedback, and the teachers and staff had great questions that they asked what to do if something, heaven forbid, happens. And so it was a great first step, and so I'd like to thank Chief Diffenhorst for taking the time and scheduling this with our schools, and hopefully going forward we could make this an annual thing and get it to be more and more complex in a sense, to heaven forbid, just to be better prepared.
Right, and I want to be very clear. It's called active shooter drill, but there was no shooting. It was simply a safety drill where the police were able to walk through the building and show their skills. Just to be clear.
The young ladies was, from my
No
understanding, did a
students were
good
present.
job screaming.
Right, they did a
Did
phenomenal
a
job.
fantastic
It was very
job. It
realistic.
was real.
So
Just want to clarify because we got a reporter in front. He's getting excited.
great. We'll go right into public participation. Just if you could please state we have a list, right?
Right.
So just remember, we have a 5-minute. Please be respectful. Make sure you please let us know if it's a question or a statement.
Jack.
Well, Jack Dillon, President of Norwich. I just have one comment. Earlier it was stated about communications between the park and the schools on behalf of the preschool. I just want to make it clear, because I don't know if I misunderstood the answer or didn't fully comprehend it. I just want to make it clear that no board members spoke to our executive director. I just want to make that clear for the record, because I don't know if I misunderstood the answer. I just want to make that clear.
No, we have not.
No, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
It's been administration to administration.
That's all I wanted to clear up, because I don't know if I misunderstood that earlier. Thank you.
That's all.
Wendy Tributio. I was wondering if it would be possible, especially because this is going to be converted into an elementary school. I mean, the smallest kids are going to be here, and there's a lot of working parents that have to go from here to there and back very quickly. Is it possible that the children can be dropped off in front and go directly into the gym where there's actual teachers, or they don't have to be teachers, but like supervised staff, and maybe 10 to 20 minutes before school starts, so that way the traffic won't be jammed up, so people can drop their kids off,